Are you serious?
Hello, welcome to another episode of How to Kill an Hour. I'm Marcus Bronzy, and I've got to say off the jump today,
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, the sorry is not from Sean, because Sean, unfortunately, has been quite unwell. So
I'm all I can do is apologise that he's unwell and I'm the replacement. Like, Marcus just dug me up off the street just now as last minute replacement.
Nah, Richie, you're part of the How to Kill an Hour family, man.
So
We'll get you along more often.
It's not as if I'm a stranger, is it?
Nah, you're not. You're not. You're definitely part of the fam. Acquaintance. Yeah, you're an acquaintance of the show, slowly becoming a cousin, and then what's closer to cousin?
Hang on, wait.
A brother.
Acquaintance to friend to cousin.
Acquaintance skip straight from friends straight into cousin.
Okay, I'll say that.
Brother.
Okay.
And then
And then what?
Blood handshake, spit in a hand, spit in a hand handshake.
Okay, cool. Well, you initiate me with the spit in
Blood
hand.
brothers, innit? Yeah, that's it. And that got off to a funky start. But that's what it's like when Richie's in the building. So yeah, if we can collectively just give Sean a get well soon vibe, that would be nice. Get well soon, Sean. Thank you very much.
Get well soon, mate. I'm so sorry I've never met you, but I love you.
You almost got to meet him though, innit?
Yeah.
But because he wasn't well, he didn't get to kill some time with us, which we'll get into in just a bit. If this is your first time listening to the show, this is the show where myself and today, Richie, we go all over the internet, we find some jokes, we tell you some jokes, we find some ways to kill time outdoors today and try some stuff and talk about that. And we talk about where we've been consuming and what we've been consuming content-wise as well. And who knows, if we've got some time, we'll tell some funny stories because some ish has been going on in the news. Now, we are deep in Halloween season. I mean, Halloween here in the UK isn't as big as it, though, is it?
No, but I don't mind that too much because I feel like, I don't know. How do you feel about people dressing up as stuff that isn't scary for Halloween? It's contentious.
Is that because we're going to a Halloween party and you might be dressing as something that isn't scary? I don't know. Because by the way, sorry, we've just got to bring the audience in. I don't know what you're wearing to a Halloween party we're going to, and I'm trying to guess, and I've missed. I've flopped. My best guess was Star-Lord.
It's a scary film.
Oh.
Well, I mean, I don't think it's a scary film, and I am a big old bitch when it comes to horror. I am. I think it's a great film.
Is it an OG classic film?
Define OG, because it depends on your, the age of the audience, really.
That means it's not as OG as the one I was thinking. They are Among Us. I think it's a film.
It's not like your OG. No.
No. Not my OG. It was I was thinking of the horror film with Roddy Piper in it. All right, cool. Yeah.
Roddy Piper.
Yeah.
Sounds like a porn star.
He's a wrestler, but a great porn star name.
Yeah.
It was a horror film. They Walk Among Us. What was it called? They Live.
Nope.
Right,
Newer than that.
All right, cool. I've got no idea.
Yeah, and that's more horror. I would call this thriller.
All right.
With some horribleness in it.
Oh, my trivia is rubbish. Then I don't know. Don't know what to do.
You'll kick yourself. You will kick yourself because it's a brilliant film.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, we'll get into that. But first, let's go for our jokes
Of the week.
All right. You want to go first, big man?
I can go first. Yeah. Right. This one is new. I found this today.
Okay.
A group of guys, all turning 40, discussed where they should meet for lunch. Finally, it was agreed that they would meet at Wetherspoons in Uxbridge because the waitresses had big old breasts and wore miniskirts. 10 years later, at age 50, the friends once again discussed where they should meet for lunch. Finally, it was agreed that they would meet at Wetherspoons in Uxbridge because the waitresses were attractive. The food and service was excellent, and the beer selection was also great. 10 years later, at age 60, the friends discussed where they should meet for lunch. Finally, it was agreed that they would meet at Wetherspoons in Uxbridge because there was plenty of parking. They could dine in peace and quiet with no loud noises and no loud music, and it was good value for money.
Okay.
10 years later, at age 70, the friends discussed where they should meet for lunch. Finally, it was agreed that they would meet at Wetherspoons in Uxbridge because the restaurant was wheelchair accessible and had a toilet for the disabled.
Oh.
10 years later, at age 80, the friends discussed where they would meet for lunch. Finally, it was agreed that they would meet at Wetherspoons in Uxbridge because they'd never been there before.
That's fucked.
But you know what I like about it is it takes you on a story. It takes you on a ride with this group of friends, and I found it quite endearing.
That'll be me.
Although, do you know what? I'm a really old soul because that sort of 20-year-old behaviour and 30-year-old behaviour. Now for me, it's I want somewhere quiet and reasonable.
You're really leaning on the age thing. Is it because you got pissed the other day and you said it was the first time in your life where you're like, maybe I acted?
That was the sort of drunk I would get at university and mid-30s.
Uni drunk the other day.
Can't be.
All right. I want to get into that after the jokes. All right, cool. This is from Gregory Morris. I know this isn't our punderful episodes where we have guest jokes, but there's a couple that came in. When I say a couple, actually loads. We may have to stop saying no jokes via DMs and only via emails. But these two have slipped through into my jokes. Right, this is from Gregory Morris. An Italian man said, last week my wife and I had great sex. I rubbed her body all over with olive oil and we made passionate love. And she screamed for 5 full minutes at the end. A Frenchman boasted, last week my wife and I had sex. I rubbed her all over with butter. We made passionate love and she screamed for 15 minutes. A Jewish man said, well, last week my wife and I also had sex. I rubbed her body all over with schmaltz, which is chicken fat. We made love and she screamed for 6 hours. The other two were stunned. The amazed Frenchman asked, what could you have possibly done to make your wife scream for 6 hours? The Jewish man says, I wiped my hands on the bread spread.
Good. Zing.
Come on.
Yeah. Okay. Patient. I have a problem with my right ear. Doctor. Are you sure? Patient. Yes, I am deaf in it. See, that one's all in the delivery, and the fact that I got a reaction out of you.
I like it.
Says something.
From Nikos Phillips, this one. Another one that slipped through the gaps.
Okay.
A military man comes back from war having lost his arm in an explosion and he's given a hefty payout. He decides he wants nothing more than to have an arm back, so he spends a lot on his latest voice-activated arm. One day, he goes down to the pub to show off his new arm to his pals. Pick up pint, he says. The arm picks up the pint. Give me a sip. The arm pours a small mouthful into his mouth. Put down pint. And then the arm proceeds to put the pint back on the table. After several times showing off this trick, he's bursting for the loo, and having approached the urinal, he asks his arm to unzip his flies and take out his dick. After a lengthy pee, he asks the arm to shake the excess off, which he quite enjoys. He looks around and then says to his arm, shake it again. This time he's getting a bit more aroused. He takes a final look around and it's just an empty toilet. Make sure no one's around. And he says, jerk me off, to which the arm violently pulls his dick off. Ah, he says, fuck me, to which the arm pulls his pants down and shoves itself into his ass. Shit, would you look at that, he finally shouts, to which the arm responds by poking it into his ass.
Oh my God.
Shit, would you look at that, he finally shouts, to which the arm pulls itself out and pokes him in the eye. Needless to say, the man got a refund.
You know what? That joke reminded me of Lord of the Rings. I kept thinking it was the end, and in the end, the punchlines were infinite.
Forever.
It did.
Yeah.
Clark Kent was lying in his deathbed with his wife Lois Lane beside him. After some time, Lois said, darling, I have to confess something. Years ago, I had an affair with Superman. It was only one night, but I've regretted it ever since. I hope you can forgive me. You don't need to worry about that, because, Clark said as he took off his glasses, I am Superman.
Oh.
Even if you didn't know it was me, in my eyes, you were always faithful. Oh, thank God, said Lois. I can't tell you what a weight that is off my shoulders. Glad we cleared that up, said Clark. So, Lois said, I guess that means you're Batman too.
Nice.
That's definitely a joke born out of, I don't know, like fan fiction.
Yeah, they kept it DC. Oh, yeah, I reckon there's a version of that. There's a version of that where Batman gets his batarang out.
Yeah.
I bet there is,
They
100%.
kept it DC, as you said, and that's what makes me think that.
Yeah, and DC can stand for something else in that world as well. So,
tell us what.
Huh? So, a priest and a golfer are playing golf. On the first hole, the priest gets a hole in one. The golfer, wanting to show up the priest, tries to get a hole in one too. He hits the ball and it goes and goes and goes, but it bounces right over the hole. God damn it, I missed, says the golfer. And the priest says, sir, that sort of language cannot be tolerated. If you say that more times, God is going to strike you down. So they keep playing. The golfer forgets the priest's warning, and on the 9th hole, he misses it just by a few inches. God damn it, he says again. And the priest says, look, heed my warning. You really cannot keep saying this, or God is going to strike you down. They both become tired as they approach the end of the course. But on the 18th hole, the priest gets another hole in one, and not wanting to lose, the golfer tries to match him. He hits the ball, and just like before, it goes and goes and goes, but it stops right in front of the hole. God damn it, yells the golfer. Sir, I warned you, shrieks the priest. But it's too late. Dark storm clouds gather, and a giant hand extends from the sky. Lightning flashes, and the golfer looks up, and he just sees smoke everywhere. And as the smoke slowly clears, there's a little pile of ash where the priest was. The man looks up again and the clouds slowly part. And then there's a booming voice that says, damn it, I missed.
Yes.
There you go. I got there in the end.
Yes. Yes.
That's a little classic.
We enjoy.
All right.
A couple on their first date decide to go back to his place afterwards. When they arrive, before he even gets the keys out of his pocket, the girl says, you know, I can actually tell whether the man I'm dating and I are compatible just based on how he opens the door. If he busts it open, it means that he's a selfish lover. And that's definitely not someone I'm interested in. If he drops the keys, it means that he's inexperienced in bed. And that's not who I'm looking for either. So how do you open the door? Well, says the guy, I'll just lick the lock first, if you don't mind. Yeah. The logic stands up. Yeah.
But I'd be like, if he busts it right open, I'll say, babe, you might be onto a winner, you know. I'm just saying, man. Listen,
I know, for sure.
Don't look a gift dick in the mouth. So this is from Ryan as well. A mother and a daughter go to the zoo for the day. A few hours into the trip, the daughter goes to the hippo enclosure and notices them humping. She goes to her mum, Mummy, what are they doing? The mum says, they're making cakes, dear. A bit of time passes and they end up at the elephant enclosure and she notices them humping as well. So she goes to her mum, Mummy, are they making cakes too? Yes, they are, dear, says the mum. The next morning, the daughter comes running down the stairs and sits at the table with mum and dad for breakfast. The daughter asks Mummy, Mummy, were you making cakes with daddy last night? Worried, the mum hesitantly says, yes. Why do you ask? The daughter replies, I thought so. I've just seen the cat licking the icing off the bed sheets. Poor cat. Poor cat. Yeah, poor cat. Eating cat juice and...
I would never cheat in a relationship because that would require two people to find me attractive. Oh, that's so sad.
Oh,
my therapist. Sorry, I don't even know this one's good. So
yeah, go for it.
It's short. Yeah. My therapist said to write letters to people I hate and then burn them. I did that, but now I don't know what to do with the letters. Yes,
sorry.
get in.
I love that one.
I like that one. Big fan.
All right, this is from Bad Spark Raven in the DMs. Honestly, bro, the inbox is full up.
Sorry, Bad
Spark Raven.
Bad Spark Raven. I feel like it's going to be an edgy joke.
Okay,
It's being very judgmental.
It's one I like. A magician was working on a cruise ship. Since the audience was different every week, he could do the same tricks over and over again. There was only one problem. The captain's parrot saw the shows each week and began to understand how the magician did the tricks. Once he understood, he started shouting out in the middle of the show, look, it's not the same cat. Or look, he's hiding the flowers under the table. Or hey, why are all the cards ace of spades? The magician was furious, but couldn't do anything about it because it was the captain's parrot after all. Then one stormy night on the Pacific, the ship unfortunately sank. The magician found himself on a piece of wood floating in the middle of the sea, and as fate would have it, the parrot was on it as well. They stared at each other with hatred, but didn't utter a word. This went on for a day, and then 2 days, and then 3 days. And then finally, on the 4th day, the parrot couldn't hold back any longer and went, okay, I give up. Where's the ship?
God damn it. Yeah, very nice. Very nice. Bad Raven DM. What was it?
Bad Raven with the parrot joke. Bad Spark Raven.
Spark Raven with the parrot joke. Love it. A woman asked an army general when was the last time he made love to a woman. The general replied, 1956, ma'am. The woman, in disbelief, said, 1956? That long? Come with me and let me make your night so much better. The woman and general went back to her apartment and made passionate love for over an hour. Afterwards, the woman cuddled up to the general and said, well, you sure haven't forgotten anything since 1956. The general looked at her, baffled, confused, and replied, I sure hope not. It's only 21:30 now.
Yes, come on!
That is wicked wordplay.
Military mass of the win.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Wicked wordplay.
Right, sorry. This was from Annette as well. Have you heard about the 3 stages of marital sex?
No.
The first stage is house sex. That's where you have sex in every room in the house. The second stage is bedroom sex. That's where you only have sex in the bedroom. The third stage is hallway sex. As you pass each other in the hallway, she says, fuck you. And then he says, no, fuck you.
That's good. I like it. It's very good.
Sorry, shout out to all those out there.
Yeah, I was going to say, and I feel that there's a lot of people going, yeah. Chris Eubank has just written a book about ethics. If it is successful, he will write one about Kent and Surrey too. Oh my God, Chris, I'm so sorry. Don't find me. Don't come and find me.
I love it. Are we done then? Right, I think I might have to do. I think I might have one more in the tank. You know,
I stole one of yours. Sorry.
That's all right. It's all good. I think I might have one that I can. I've got one in the bank there. This is literally hot joking, right?
Go on.
Can you believe I'm doing this right now?
Go on.
A hot joke, right out of the tank here. Come on, where is it? Give me my joke. Where's my joke?
I found one that I missed.
Right. Is it? Yeah. All right, yeah, go for it then.
This stoner finds a genie in a bottle on the beach. 3 wishes, the genie says. First wish, the stoner grins, let's smoke a joint. So they do.
Yeah.
Then, second wish, let's smoke another. So they do. But a third wish, he says, let's smoke one more. The genie, looking concerned, says, are you sure? You only have 1 wish left. Yeah, man, I'm sure, stoner replies. They smoke, and the genie goes back in the bottle. A little while later, the genie comes out of the bottle and says, all right, what's your 4th wish?
Yes, come on.
Played the system and won. Played the system and
shout out to my stoners out there, man. So those were our jokes
of the week.
So there we go, man.
I really like the end of that. It sounds a bit like a duck. Week.
Or like a Canadian person saying yes. In French.
Oh yeah, a Canadian person saying it in French. Yeah. It's like, why Canadian?
Yeah. Their French feels a little bit different to me.
Oh, okay.
So I think we should jump straight into our killer bit, which is where we talk about how we killed a little bit of time, because we actually got out and about, didn't we? We left the world of the internet and we went to go and play something called Bridge Command. Now, Richie, I think it's fair to say that we actually have a little bit of inside knowledge for Bridge Command because we actually went to it before it was finished and had a look around it and stuff, which we can get into. But in essence, what Bridge Command is a massive couch co-op computer game in space where you and your mates play along. So think of your favorite Star Trek show, like Star Trek-esque show like Star Trek or anything like that, or your sci-fi show. And that's it, really. That's it in essence, right? But
add the VR element to it. It's like couch co-op VR video game.
Would you call it VR?
Well, and then some.
Yeah.
Because you are there.
Yeah. So it's like a
virtual
space
reality, but reality.
Yeah. So if you like escape rooms, yes, it's for you. If you like Star Trek or sci-fi, I think it's for you. Mm-hmm. But Richie, I think what I want to know from you is, as someone who isn't as into Star Trek, or are you into Star Wars?
Yeah.
More into Star Wars than Star Trek?
Yeah.
So you're more Star Wars than Star Trek. How was it for you? Because I kind of just threw this at you. You'd come before and you were like, all right, I'll come along. Because I kind of was saying to you before, I think this could be a really good experience. Like, I think it could be a lot better than a lot of other interactive experiences.
I've done a fair few sort of those interactive, immersive type experiences. You know, you have dinner on a train, like Murder on the Orient Express, and you're eating dinner and there's some drama going on and it's like a murder mystery. I've done that one. There was one that was basically Avatar. But you sort of walked around these different hallways with some drinks in your hand and all that kind of thing. And they were, with the utmost respect, they weren't for me. You're not a big fan of that stuff. So I went into this really sort of cynical and judgmental well in advance, and it was fucking great. Yeah, I loved it. Yeah. I really, really enjoyed it. And you know when you watch a film and you don't realise how much time has flown past because you are fully immersed and you haven't looked at your phone or none of that stuff, or like escapism at its very, very finest. It was that.
Do you know what? Flipping out. I've not looked at my phone for 3 hours.
Right.
While I'm conscious.
Right.
For a very long time. And that sounds like a long time, but let's be honest, bro. You're trying to tell me you don't look at your phone at least once an hour? That's a good day, isn't it? Yeah. I try if I'm watching a film or telly, I'll throw my phone to the other side of the room. But this, there wasn't even a second where I thought, oh, I want to take a picture. Oh, my phone exists. Oh, I better check whatever. I didn't care. Yeah. I just got so immersed and lost in it, and it was brilliant. It's amazing. So the premise is, We are if you come along, minimum 3 friends, I just want to say, and we'll talk about price at the end because I found out the price on the tickets. Minimum 3 friends because they recommend at least a group of 4 or more, or you can be mixed up with other people as well, which we were. Which I always love. Whenever I do stuff like that, I love having a random few people in there that you don't know because I think it makes it just changes the dynamic. You don't know what to expect.
See, I wouldn't have in advance. I'd have been like, nah, I just want my
just
people that I
people.
know. Yeah. Personally.
Really?
Yeah. But I was wrong. Maybe because we got very lucky and the people we were with were ace. But by default, again, I would have gone with friends. But it didn't matter.
I thought you were quite a social guy. I thought you wouldn't mind meeting new people.
I have my moments.
Right.
I'll switch into that mode, but otherwise I'm out.
All right, fair enough.
Yeah.
So yeah, the premise is we join this new space corps. I should remember the name of it, but what was it again?
I remember the phrase.
What was it again?
UNSC. No.
The UN was it? No,
that's Halo.
No, that's Halo.
The Jedi. No.
Federation. No.
Colonial
UCN.
Marines. No.
Is the UCN?
That's aliens.
There you go. The UCN.
Right.
But basically, you join the UCN, and we are low. We'll be ensigns basically in it. But I think they called us like we were lower than sub lieutenants, weren't we? What were we?
Yeah. Well, I wasn't.
We were. No. Well, we'll get to that. Okay. Ensigns, and then we get sent on a mission, and that mission basically is there's 4 different types of missions that they have, and the mission we were on, I think, was on more of an offensive mission that we went on. So there's 4 missions. The ones that they have diplomacy, exploration, intrigue, and military. We went on a military mission where we had to
take fucking names.
We had to kick some ass. Yeah. But what's great is you get orientation from an actor who's part of the show. So they kind of talk you through everything, what you can and can't do, health and safety, all the boring stuff. Whilst you're kind of feel like you're in this lift which transports you to their space station. Their space station is the bar, basically. Yeah. Went to the bar, had a drink, which is great. They give you a little UCN flask where you had a cocktail out of water.
Yeah.
So you could get sippy.
Yeah.
A little bit more orientation and story stuff, and then onto the ship.
Mm-hmm.
But just before then, we had to pick our roles.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, did we do that on the ship or did we do that before?
No, we did that in the briefing room beforehand.
Did the briefing room, and then obviously Richie, who wasn't a fan of it, I did set you up a little bit. But I thought, what better way than to immerse you, than to throw you in head first as captain.
It worked.
And what was great, Richie, is all of a sudden, you took on, this is what's mad about you, Richie, right, is you took on that role with so much vim immediately. Because you had I've never seen you wear your glasses before in person. So you had your glasses on. So I was like, he's trying to show that he's got command level intellect here. He's not a grunt. And then you were like, I'm Captain Richard. I've never heard you ask anyone to call you Richard before. Please tell me why. Why was that?
Felt more official. Take me seriously.
Is that? Do you feel like if you're called Richard, people don't fuck around as much?
It's more adult, isn't it?
Yeah. So you took on your role as captain, and then they went on to show us like all of our different roles that we could take on as officers. So obviously, captain, you're across everything, right? What did he give you any special information about the captain's chair? Because there was a proper. Oh, by the way, by this time we'd walked onto a full-on set which looked like something from a sci-fi. Like TV show. If you watch Enterprise, if you're into Star Trek, there was Enterprise, which had Scott Bakula in it. It feels very much like you're on an Enterprise bridge with no copyright infringement. But so you move onto a bridge that looks like, oh, this is a great museum, but everything works. But your chair. So what did you have on your chair?
Walking in and around was great. Like it looked the part for sure, but I still wasn't quite sold. And then you put me forward for captain. And I was like, cool, fine. And I was like, all right, look, I'm open to it, cool. But as soon as we walked onto the bridge, and as soon as I was told, Captain, there's your seat, I was like, God damn, here we go.
As soon as them cheeks hit the lever on the seat, you were like,
that was it. Honestly, and that was it. I was sold completely.
And everything in that bridge worked. Like there was nothing there that was just like a picture, or like all the screens were touch screen. I don't know, like so. Did you? I didn't even, because I was so into my console. Did you have, what was your setup?
My setup was a little bit of an overview of everyone's. So I think down the right hand side of the touch screen it was like navigation, so I could see what navigation was seeing, and like the map and all that kind of thing. And then there was I'm not gonna lie, I was too busy yelling at people / encouraging people very nicely to take full control and really dive into the screen. But the fact that I didn't, and it was right there in front of me, I think says a lot about how immersed I got into it. But you got an overview of what everyone else was seeing and doing and looking at.
Yeah, man. I wasn't on the helm. There was Jack on the helm, I think I remember. I was on comms, wasn't I? So I had the little headset. So I did the little thing. Yeah, so my screen was basically we all could see the main radar, so we knew where we are, but I could get a bit more information. I could also communicate with either the enemy, but the enemy didn't communicate with us because we were kicking their ass, and also communicate with the UCN headquarters as well and set up stuff. And I could hack into their systems during battle as well, which was quite fun.
Prove yourself pretty useful in that regard.
Trust me, bro. But we can't talk too much about the mission, right?
No.
But I honestly had so much fun, just at my console. And Nim, that came along, mate of ours, he was what was he? Was he
technician?
Technician, that was it. He was dealing with damage control and power management and that stuff.
Yeah.
So he was all over that. So he was on his own role. I might have been pressing the screen a little bit when he wasn't looking. Sure. With him. But then we had a problem halfway through, and he had to run into another part of the ship where there are more working parts
stuff,
and move physical bits around, take out things. What I can honestly say, I've never been into an environment which is so immersive. And everything kind of has a purpose. There's even a toilet on board the ship.
Yeah.
Remember, I think, what's their name again?
I can't remember.
Sorry. Asked if they could use a toilet because they asked the captain permission to use a toilet.
Yeah, great.
And you were like, yeah. And then, but then something kicked off, and you were like, yeah. After we deal with this,
Yeah. Priorities.
Yeah.
Piss yourself as long as you save the ship.
Yeah, 100%.
And also, they'd done it a few times. They knew what they were doing, so it was important to keep them on side.
Exactly.
But yeah, immersive. To refer to it as immersive theatre would undersell it completely because the amount of tangible aspects there were to it. If I think of immersive theatre, I think of improvisation on a stage where you got to use your imagination and all that kind of thing. And that's cool and fun and all that. But this was next level.
And I think the best way to explain it, because shout out to Joe Grind, aka Joey's Funhouse. He was like, I like this, looks cool, but I don't think it's for me. But then I was like, Joey,
probably would have been.
Yeah, but then I didn't realize I didn't explain the pictures. Like, Joey, this is like a massive couch co-op with 4 friends or more. And when I said that to him, he's like, oh, actually, because we played a computer game, bro. Yeah. We played a computer game with physical parts. That was it. So it's instead of you using a control pad, you have an actual control screen.
Yep.
Or instead of pressing a button to open a door in VR, like you said, you actually put your hand on a door panel and it opens a door for everyone. And if something's broken on the ship, I mean, at one point there were physical effects when our ship got hit.
Yeah.
And I was like, what?
Literally.
And I was like, this is sick. Even down to the detail where there was when we were just chilling, they had speakers playing the hum of an engine, so it sounded like we're on a ship. So yeah, that's about as much as we can say about it, but I really enjoyed it. Right, Richie? For the experience, I think we're in there for 2.5 hours, maybe 3? Yeah. 2.5 hours. We got leveled up. We're now sub-lieutenants, I believe. It's 40 quid a head, which I am pleasantly
really
surprised about.
Good.
From 40 quid. So I'm looking at their website now. Let's look for some bookings. I'm going to do it right now as we speak. October 2020.
Is that just entry? Is that a drink as well?
From 40 quid. We got a drinks token with it. I don't know if they were being nice to us or not. I'll be honest. There's a later showing of 40 quid, and there's an earlier showing of 50 quid, and then there's a peak time of 60 quid at the moment.
Okay.
But I mean, we had a corporate group coming in after us actually, which were going in. They were going to do it, so they're and they say that it's good for groups of four and upwards. And by the way, this is gifted. We're not paid to say any of this. This is all just us doing it. But yeah, man. So and to go back to what you said, Richie, which was great was in our group there were 2 people that came along that on their own separately that had done it 4 or 5 times.
Yeah.
And they flipping were just I get to do a different post this time. I get to do a different thing, whatever. They flipping loved it, mate. It was like. I get it now. The replayability of it is really fun, and I think they want to look at, and that's a 3-hour experience, but they've got bunks in there as well. Yeah. So they're talking about potentially doing an experience which is overnight, which is an extended experience.
That would be fascinating. I would own personally because I enjoyed it so much more than I thought I was going to. It's one of them where I wouldn't want to go back and do it again because I wouldn't want to tarnish the experience that I had in the first place. Yeah. But if there was the overnight one,
I might do it. No, I would do it.
As much for it being a social experiment, as it is being immersed in the game.
Imagine being a captain for 24 hours and
love that.
And there's in the middle of the night as a flipping enemy attacks you got to wake up, bruv. You got to wake up and get busy.
I feel with that as well, you do need to be doing that with people that are going to get into it as much as I apparently did.
Yeah.
The more you only get out of it what you put into it.
Yeah,
There are
man.
some things where you can sit and just watch and not really take part.
Yeah.
That one, you need to.
You changed as a person, bruv. You almost threw me in the brig.
I did.
You.
Should we tell the people why? Should we tell the people why? Sexual assault will not fly on my vessel, maggot. It won't.
It was calling me maggot. That was it. Yeah.
I was.
Yeah. Oh man, but I redeemed myself with.
Wait. By the way, when I say sexual assault, I mean he didn't rape me.
Yeah,
I
I didn't.
pinched my ass.
It didn't. It was no space rape happened during the
No,
show. Yeah,
no,
no space rape. We don't condone any form of rape.
Not
Especially
sexual assault.
or sexual assault. Yeah, yeah, that sounds even worse. I'm like sexual assault in space. No, it's fine.
Yeah.
What's it called? International waters. Yeah.
Oh God.
No,
Don't
we don't.
justify it.
We don't condone that. But I did redeem myself by protecting you from command by translating your very fruity language. The levels of spice in your language were.
I just got deep into the role.
Yeah, bro, you got so deep into the role that it was. I didn't know if you changed forever. It was fun. What else? Something else happened as well.
That's what I do for my crew, though.
Yeah, you did it for our crew. Yeah, we kicked ass. They did say that this is what's sick. So how it works is the behind the scenes is you have someone in the back end who's kind of tailoring the mission to you. If you struggle, they can help you out a bit, and if you're doing too well, they can pull you back a bit. Mm-hmm. We took the mission. We had 3 options, didn't we, for a mission? And then someone suggested a 4th option, and then someone suggested a 5th, and they had to tailor the game to our 5th option.
Yeah.
So you can shape it how you want.
Think outside the box.
And it took them minutes. And in game time, we didn't notice for them to
seamless.
make the adjustment.
It was absolutely seamless. And during that time, it was literally just a case of the commander saying, "Are you sure you want to do that?" It was all like very legitimate and natural and organic.
Yeah, and then it happened, and we did it, and we completed the mission in a way that may have wasted some USC resources.
Gotta do what you gotta do. You gotta do what you gotta do.
May have wasted resources, but what's funny as well is you actually get a record as well. So we all have a record. So if you go back, they'll remember your rank. They'll remember what you did. So there you go. Bridge Command, a fully interactive Starship bridge simulator powered by technology and live actors. Richie, it was flipping great, mate.
Really enjoyed it.
And I know you said you don't want to go back again, but I think I would. I'd like to go back and do a longer experience, and I'd like to do it. I think because you were captain, I think you had a good oversight for a role, but I still feel like just doing my role during battle, I felt like during battle, everyone had to do something to get the battle won. So I was like hacking into somebody's shields or stopping them from being able to move so they couldn't move around in space. And then someone else was on the beams and tractor beams, someone else was firing, someone else was making sure all the energy levels were right.
And I was cheerleading.
You were cheerleading, man. Yeah, man. You made a good captain though. Thank you, Captain Dick.
That's Captain Dickard.
Dickard. Hey! That was it. But yeah, no, man. Really liked it. It was good vibes. And Richie, look, to be honest, bro, we're tight for time, bro. So we're going to have to wrap this episode here. So that was How to Kill an Hour this week. Don't forget, you can send jokes in at jokes@howtokillanhour.com if you want to holler at us. DMs is just getting too busy, man, for jokes. So it's going to have to be emailed in. Where can we find you on social media, Richie Driss?
I'm at Richie Driss. There is no T in Richie. RICHIEDRISS.
Everywhere, right?
All over the gaff.
There you go. We're at How to Kill an Hour everywhere. Thank you to all of our followers on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Threads, etc. Love you sending in jokes to us. Like I said, jokes@howtokillanhour.com is the best place to send them. I'm at Marcus Bronzy, MARCUSBRONZY. We'll be in your ear holes very soon. And coming up soon, we have our Ponderful episode with your jokes in them.